nerds, pretty 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 nerds.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Nerd podcast. This is your girl Falan DeAnn.
And this is your girl Nay.
Welcome back, y'all, and don't forget to check out our website www.prettynerdspodcast.com. Exciting stuff. So
Yeah,
welcome back.
We got a blog on there. We've added the blog page now. So make sure y'all go and check out some of our articles that we will be writing, just to kind of expand on some of the stuff that we talk here about on the show and just things that we don't get to talk about on the show. And also on our YouTube page, we will be doing some vlogs. So you'll get to see our gorgeous faces and all of that good stuff. And again, it'll just be, talking about things that, just interest us and just good content all the way around. So be looking out for that.
So how has everything been going with the coronavirus?
Well, my job finally on Friday made the decision that, hey, maybe we should take this seriously and let y'all stay at home. So starting on Monday, well, tomorrow, I will be working from home for the next 2 weeks. I guess, I don't know. I guess while we're out, maybe they'll be doing like a deep clean of the building or whatnot. I don't know what the plan is, but they gave us the option to stay at home for the next 2 weeks, away from the office so that we can, be away from people or whatever like that. I've seen a lot of companies and businesses kind of taking that route. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, because like everybody's so like paranoid and they look at you funny, and it's like you can't even have allergies and shit during this time because people are looking at you strange, like, oh, did they have the virus? And I just want to be like, nah, bitch, but you keep spraying that disinfectant in my face. Is making my sinuses go haywire, so I'm finna have a goddamn asthma attack thanks to your dumb ass.
Listen, I had to cough last week, and I was like, and then I had to cough again. I was like, oh my gosh, I should just get up and go to the bathroom. Because I'm like, I do, and it's so cold in our building that I can be fine when I get home. As soon as I get there, it's like I'm freezing, so I'm like sneezing, I'm coughing, and I'm like, this has went on since I've been working there. Unfortunately, unlike other jobs, we haven't been told that we can go home yet. But the crazy thing about it, at my job, they're saying like, oh, 2 people are in self-quarantine, but they won't send us home. So
The fuck?
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy though. Hold on.
And they won't tell us what floor they're on or what floor they were on, but they're saying like they're in self-quarantine and please try not to go to other floors. Because some people will come to our floor and get our ice because of the ice machine, but they was like, try not to go to other floors and stay on your floor. And I'm like, but you still working with hundreds of people on one floor.
Yeah.
They don't watch that. Like, it's so crazy listening to people. Like, I was listening to one dude at work talking. He was like, I was reading research that like, and it made sense that when you wash your hands, the part that you miss the most is between your thumb and pointer finger. And I'm like, no. I like when I learned to wash. Who taught you how to wash your hands, and how have you been washing them?
Yeah.
I'm like, sir, that's part, but I'm like, now I understand why shit spreads because you don't even know how to wash your hands.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I don't know. I am a little frustrated though with people as far as like grocery stores and shit like that. Like y'all are like literally I went to the grocery store yesterday, and when I tell you, like, I walked in there and like
Nothing.
Now listen, the vitamins is all there. The fresh fruit and vegetables are there, but like I walked down all the toilet paper, napkins, any type of paper product gone, all the cleaning supplies gone, all the rice gone, all the the meat gone. Like Kroger's literally had to put up signs to say, okay, y'all can only have certain amount of milk and eggs and shit like that because y'all getting out of control. Like they put up sign. I felt like so sad for people. Like they literally had to put up signs saying you can't take more than so certain amounts of feminine hygiene products. Like I mean, y'all gotta chill.
And that's one of my biggest things, because I got up Friday morning. So I'm one of those people, like I like shopping like on the weekends where I can kind of go walk through. If I want to go back another hour, I can. I feel like doing it during the week after work or something. It's just like you're gonna be in traffic or something like that. So I'm like, I'll just go. I go on the weekend. So with this whole little, panic thing, I was like, okay, Friday morning, I'm gonna go to Kroger at 6 a.m. So I'm thinking, of course, I'm gonna get Kroger because I was able to get water, I was able to get tissue. Now, let me put it out there. We only have one roll of tissue left. So I just get one, big thing that I always buy. I didn't go in there like I seen some guy had like a whole basket full of the water that people use when they have newborns or infants
Oh God.
to, feed them. I'm like, why would you buy all of it? Because I'm like, there's some woman or some parent, not just necessarily a woman, some man it has children that really need it. A whole pallet or two of water that's just sitting there. Buy that. But I'm like, for you to just take this, I'm like, I'm like baby wipes. There are actually babies that need those wipes. Like, it's just stuff that I'm like, if we were quarantined, how many butts are you wiping that you need
All
six
of that.
cases or six things of toilet tissue? Like, this is, even if it was the end of the earth, it's like you get all that toilet paper for nothing. Like,
yeah, the hoarding is ridiculous.
I think that's what's causing a lot of panic amongst other people. It's not so much as the coronavirus. It's just that when you look on TV and you like, damn, they got 6 things of tissue and I only got, one pack of tissue left. I need to go get tissue because it won't be none for me. Like, we have stores here that have closed because they don't have anything.
It's crazy. It is crazy out there. But to all folks out there, please, stay safe, stay healthy. Take your vitamins, please. Like I'm serious. I'm so serious about that. I was telling my mom, I was like, it's amazing to me, like the amount of stuff that people are like hoarding and grabbing, but shit that can actually help you, like immunity boosters from they have like immunity boosting teas, vitamins like I got elderberry in the house, I got vitamin C in the house, I got immunity boosting respiratory teas. Like I just got all kind of like holistic good shit to put in your body. But I'm just like, but y'all running around here acting like I need 20,000, I'm saying you need 20,000 bottles of hand sanitizer. The fuck? You don't need 20,000 bottles of hand sanitizer. Newsflash, if you use hand sanitizer excessively, it starts to wear off a little bit. Like it's not suffice as good as washing your hands is basically what I'm saying. Like y'all asses should be washing your fucking hands, not depending on fucking hand sanitizer.
Yeah. Then I had I saw one article. I think it was on New York Post or maybe New York Daily, one of those. But of course, it was a guy from Tennessee that had bought $17,000 worth of hand sanitizer
Oh, I
between,
saw it.
I guess,
it too.
Tennessee and Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, we can't do this, and who's going to say my labor was at $16, bro? And I was like, I'm so happy, which I felt like it took them too long to do, but I'm so happy Amazon shut that down.
Yeah, I saw that exact same article, and I was just like, good for his ass, serves his ass right. And honestly, I'm not like a huge advocate for the prison system, but they asses should be in jail for trying to profit off of a pandemic. I'm sorry, the shit's fucking ridiculous.
And I was like, Dude, you are literally. I was like, you kind of like the worst of the worst. Even I know it's like another couple, I think in like Cali or Florida, something like that, and they've made like $100,000 off of basically the pandemic. And I was like, I hope you guys go to jail,
Yeah,
or you're at least
absolutely,
charged and made to pay steep, heavy fines.
absolutely,
I was
because it's
like, that's just,
ridiculous. You have to be the
and
worst type of person to think, oh, I'm gonna try to profit off of people's panic. It's fucking ridiculous.
and the guy that was in Tennessee, he was like, well, I went to small towns and small stores, so it doesn't make a difference. I'm like, that makes it even worse.
Yep.
Because I'm like, imagine what they probably don't even get supplies like that often because they are a small town. So they're like, oh, well, they don't need much because they're small. So you go and wipe them out of everything that they have. Oh, and he was like, I've received death threats. Don't feel sorry for you. You shouldn't have been asked.
Absolutely ridiculous. I'm girl, listen, them little articles that was popping up, I was like, and now they're talking about they don't want to be, permanently banned or suspended from selling on Amazon or eBay or whatever like that. They don't think that's right. Why not? Y'all are literally out here. Y'all out here charging. I seen one couple. They said they was charging like $125 for cans of fucking Lysol or the little disinfectant spray and shit. And I'm just like, and y'all don't think that you deserve to be suspended or at least have your accounts canceled from being able to sell uh when you decide to do shit like that. Ridiculous.
Listen, I'm just hoping that it kind of,
We shall see. So let's go ahead, and we don't have much, but let's jump into the hot topics for this week. You want to start, I guess, since we're always already talking about the virus, you want to start with kind of like the closings and all that.
yeah, the schools in New York are closed. Um, and then, of course, several different school systems around the country have basically shut down. Our local school system is shut down. I think Nashville is shut down, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. I know you probably can correct me on it.
Yes, they have shut down.
And then you have, okay. Then you have, of course, your big stores like Nike is closed until the 27th. Their workers will be paid. Um, Apple is closed. I didn't get the date on that one, but their stores are set to close as well. I think Washington, Cali, Ohio, and Illinois, all of their restaurants and bars are closed. And Miami just closed their beaches. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely, I think it's definitely heading to the point where I think it's pretty much going to be a mandate. We'll probably end up like, how Spain and Italy have pretty much done like a full shutdown for like the next 2 weeks. They've shut down everything, all bars, all restaurants, everything but I think doc pharmacies. They said pharmacies,
And
grocery
grocery
stores,
store. And then
and
your emergency.
in emergency rooms. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, even here in the US, a lot of the grocery chains are closing early. I know Walmart just changed their hours. They will be closing early at like I think 8 or 9 o'clock. Publix also will be closing at 8 o'clock. Because listen, those people are also, and we take them for granted. Those workers who have to, regardless, get up, go to work in these grocery stores, stock shelves, and all of that. They're taking a risk too, just by being around all of us fucking crazy folks who are running in and out of the grocery store in a panic. So,
Yeah.
they deserve a right to be away and be able to at least have some time off and, be with their families in court, away from the general public.
Yeah. And I guess like when people say, oh, it's just like the flu, I kind of don't like that phrase. Or if you're like, if you're healthy, you're fine. And I'm like, but what about the person that's sitting next to you that's not healthy? I was like, I feel like we are still responsible for other people in society. If I get, well, not necessarily if I get it, but if someone else get it and you're 23 and you're healthy, okay, you might be fine. But what about people with lupus and diabetes or sickle cell anemia that's over 65? That's not fair to them for you to just be like, oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean,
So
you know, in all honesty, I mean, I think that when people compare it to like the flu and pneumonia and everything like that, they have to remember that with the flu and pneumonia, we've had time to study it. We know how to handle the flu and pneumonia. With the coronavirus, they that's the issue is that they don't know how to it's a new strain, a new strand. They don't know how to contain it, how to handle it, get a hold on it. You know, obviously once they do, once it becomes one of those things where they know how to handle the immunity of it, then sure, by all means, then, you know, we'll start to see things go back to normal and, you know, be business as usual. But for right now, I mean, shit, they don't know what to do.
and that's what I try to tell people as well when they're like, well, why is everyone panicking? And I'm like, because just as officials and, and health professionals don't know really what to do, the general public is even worse. They have less knowledge than doctors. They don't know what to do. And you can listen to doctors all day, like, oh, don't panic. But when you have people that, tested positive, or you hear, and I'm like, the fatality rate is not good as well. I'm like, because even when you think about, oh, the flu is like, even though there are a lot of people infected, I think the fatality rate is 0.1%. Whereas the fatality rate with the coronavirus is way higher than it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's a lot of things that play into that, just not as, oh, the flu infects more people. But we also have Tamiflu. If you want to wait it, you want to do the bill, you can do that. And I'm like, and then think about how easy it is to go and be treated for the flu. You can literally walk into like the little clinic at Kroger or something like that and be treated for the flu.
Yeah.
You can't do that with the coronavirus. So I'm like, I'm not necessarily knocking people for their panic. I am knocking people for like going and taking everything from everybody else that need I feel like it's enough resources, but people are just like taking it all for just themselves.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, and I was like, and then even when you think about, like, I think here they've kind of canceled all events that's over 250 people. See a lot of restaurants that are closing. And I will say, for some parts, people have been dedicated to still paying their employees while they're off for some part. Um, but I was like, I think it's necessary because you still have people that don't wash their hands.
Mhm.
You have people like the guy in Missouri that they told him to self quarantine, and he did, and took his daughter to dance and expose people. Um, you have people that still cough with their mouth uncovered, cough into their hand, and then touch a doorknob. So I'm like, all of these things is just, people are gross.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one thing that I will say that is kind of the message that we are getting from this is that people are gross a little bit and they just uh yeah. So but I think a lot of us kind of already knew that.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of us have already kind of been germaphobes as is. I just think that this kind of raises the bar a little bit. I mean, I will say that you know, I've been a little bit more cautious as far as like pumping gas now. You know, after I pump my gas, I'll, because obviously I don't have access to soap and water, I'll go ahead and use some hand sanitizer and then make sure when I get in the house, wash my hands thoroughly just because I know I went and, pumped gas and touched something that was public. When I go to the gym, I wash my hands before I start. I wipe down all of the machines, but those are things that I always did anyway.
Yeah.
I wash my hands before I leave. So, I mean, I think those are just, for people like me who is natural germaphobe anyway, those are things I did anyway. But I guess now what I've seen or what I've come to see is that people are, more people are like taking, I guess, health and those type of things seriously and being a little bit more cleanly, I guess you can say. I don't know.
Listen,
Mm.
I don't know. I'm just, ready for things to go back to normal.
I am too. I am too. I will say that. I will say the one thing that, and I hate to be that person, but the one thing that is driving me nuts is that school's canceled. Cause it feel like the goddamn summertime with all these badass kids running around in the middle of the street. Shit. Listen, I know I sound like that person who just be like who
That old
sounds
lady,
bitter.
they
Yeah,
look
that
at her
old lady
window.
who. But I be like, God damn it! If y'all don't get y'all bad asses out of listen, girl, I'm telling you, I was literally trying to turn into a parking space, and this little kid just was sitting on their little bike, just looking at me, and I just was like, if you don't move your rabbit ass out this street so I can turn in this damn parking. Look, I'm sorry. I know that it's horrible, but I really wish they would take their asses back to school. I know they got to be out. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry. Oh, anyway.
See, I don't know. Poor baby. But I will say, our county here so far has dealt with it really well. Like by the time the kids was out of school, they had a plan. Because my biggest concern was like, what about the children that only eat at school?
Yeah.
So they were really good about having a proactive plan about making sure that those children still had lunch, or hypothetically, if a parent still had work, they have, the YMCA is open, they have camps that they can go to. So that like helped a lot to be like, okay, at least they have them taken care of.
Yeah.
But,
I wish I could say the same. I wish I could say the same.
so they didn't do that close to you, or?
No, I mean, I don't think that. In all honesty, I don't feel like they had um a plan for it. They should have, but especially considering how big this city is and how many people are, I feel like they should have had a plan in place, but they did not. I think when they got their first case like in the school system, that's when it was like, oh shit, all panic, and they closed the schools and they said they were going to do a deep clean, and then they let the kids come back, and then some more cases popped up, and that's when they were just like, okay, we're going to suspend school for I think the next 2 weeks or something. Like, I don't know how long they're out of school, and do like another significant deep clean of the schools. So I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't seem like to me that they have a plan. It could just maybe just be the neighborhood I live in, because like I said, there's just kids everywhere, as far as just like in the middles of the streets and running around and things like that. Maybe the parents are taking turns or whatever, as far as like, we'll watch this group while these people go to work. I don't know how, maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but it's just for folks like me who like have no choice and got to be out in these streets. It's just a lot to kind of have to navigate, because it's like, I get that your kids are out of school, but like you got to at least, if they're going to be out, watch them and not let them be running around in the middle of the streets. And because other people, life has to go on for them as usual. Like I said, up until Friday, I had to report in and out of work every single day. So, life still was moving for me. So,
And then of course, all of sporting events, I think they're canceled. But I saw the guy from the president for UFC. He said he didn't cancel because he talked to Trump, and Trump said it was fine, and Pence. And I'm like, so them two people that you took advice from?
yeah, that is correct. That is weird. I did see that they are still functioning business as usual. The UFC is. I think that the WWE, I haven't seen them make any announcements that they are not business as usual. I would assume if the crowd stopped coming, that they would, either start canceling events, do a quarantine, or postpone, their shows or whatnot, or just do it without an audience, maybe. Because they do film for TV, so more than likely they would probably just do it without an audience and just let their television show continue to air. But I don't know, because I would assume if every other professional sport has shut down, why wouldn't you follow suit? But hey, who am I?
Yeah, it's just the advice, where you got your advice from. That I'm like, you got your advice from Trump. Okay. I'm like, that would be the last person that I would take advice from.
Well, some people are Trumpers. They are Trump supporters for sure. So they will listen to every and anything that he says.
Obama would never. And the poor idiot from the Utah Jazz that decided to touch all the microphones.
You know what though? I feel like it's in one way you kind of got to feel bad for the dude because it's like they're all, they're trying, even though he was a complete fucking idiot, you can't pin it all on him. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, but we all knew this virus was happening. It should have been more of a it shouldn't have taken a player to have to be diagnosed with it before it was like a more proactive approach of like, hey, you know what? Maybe this isn't the best use of our time. Maybe we can take a moment to kind of shut it down. Because now it, like I said, it just makes him kind of like the fall guy for them taking so long to make the decision to shut it down. You know what I mean? But again, he was a complete fucking idiot.
I just felt like it was foolish because I'm like, you risk your own health in doing it. But okay.
Yeah. Definitely. Complete fucking idiot, but nonetheless, I definitely don't want to. I definitely hate that they, like I said, that he became like this scapegoat for big business. Because in all honesty, that's what it turned out to be. Big business wasn't ready to call it yet because hey, they got to get their money. But then once they saw that their product was going to be affected, and it was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, we might want to shut this down before it gets too serious. You know what I mean?
Whatever. We'll see, y'all. Keep y'all informed. I guess switching to the next topic or just changing gears a little bit. Waka Flocka. And I know you said Jessica White as well about this whole, is it switch challenge?
Yeah.
So he goes on Instagram saying that he doesn't like it because it's like emasculating men. I didn't see what Jessica White said, but I guess it's probably the same in the same arena.
Yeah. She basically said that she would not let her man participate in the flip the switch challenge because she needs a real man and real men don't do that. Exactly. Oh, a mess.
And I will say Waka Flocka's spouse was like, please stop this and please let people have their fun. Because I'm like, and I'm like, bro, you should have just ate your food and be quiet because people got in the comments and was like, real men don't cheat on their wives.
Big facts.
Just eat your Wheaties and just be quiet. Like, just be quiet. And I'm like, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Or if you don't like a man that does it, don't do it. I'm like, y'all are so concerned about, okay, this is what a man looks like. And don't be the ones that be down low or be actually gay.
Facts.
I'm like, everybody that does that or play the game or whatever does not mean that they're gay. I'm like, your homeboy be over there taking the whole penis, but he got on Tim's or Jordans and jeans, but he fine. Okay.
Child, I'm telling you, people in their definitions of masculinity and femininity and all that shit like that be so like, people be so tied to it that it's like it allows them to come up with like these grotesque things and thoughts. You know what I mean? Like something as harmless as a fucking little challenge. And let's be honest, the little challenges be corny as fuck, but hey, people be having fun, be doing it. Let them do whatever they want on their little TikTok or Instagram or whatever the hell they doing. That's their business. They having fun, they living life, they being silly with each other. Let them do that. Why? I guess I can't understand why so many people are so concerned about other people in their fucking life. Like, relax.
And I don't be understanding why heterosexual people be so worried about somebody else's vagina and penis. Like that be, I'm like,
woo, shit, girl, you hit that one on the head.
I'm like, I'm a straight female. I don't care what nobody else does with their vagina, as long as it ain't a child's vagina. Man, listen, have at it.
Big facts. As long as you fucking with a consenting adult.
And it's consensual.
Exactly. You
who
give a
I
fuck
don't.
what you do.
I'm like, y'all don't be caught up. He gay. Are you having sex with him? What does it matter?
Big facts.
I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, it definitely turns me off from a lot of people because I can't. That's one thing that I can't even tolerate. That's turned me off from some of the people that I would consider like dating and being, because I'm just like, why are you so concerned about how other people choose to live their fucking life? Like you said, why are you so concerned about somebody else's penis? You know what I mean? Like, and what they do with it. That shit turns me off. Like, I don't get it. So,
Like I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do with what that person do with their genitals. It's theirs.
exactly.
So yeah. And I think this week the man that killed Nina Wilson and he injured her sister as well. He was actually found guilty, even though he tried to play the insanity card, and then he played that he was assaulted by a black woman the week before. So he was found guilty. So I guess we'll see what would happen with him being charged. I guess that's going to be interesting to see. But I hope they throw the book at his ass.
Yeah. And for those who don't remember that story, it happened, I think it want to be like a little bit over a year ago at BART station out there in Cali. And the young lady, not is it Naya? I think it's Nia or Naya
Yeah.
Wilson. She
Yeah.
was murdered at BART's by the gentleman. As you said, her sister was injured, and recently the gentleman was found guilty. So we'll see what his sentence turns out to be. I'm with you on that. I want to see what the sentence looks like.
I was trying to. I don't know if maybe this was last week or was it this week? Or was it last week that Harvey Weinstein
Oh,
got?
girl, listen, I literally, when we was talking sentencing, like that was in my head, and I was like, I know I forgot last week to talk about this, so I am so glad that you brought it up.
I'm like, was it this week or last week? I can't remember
Yeah,
for
it
the
was
life.
last week that it happened, but I totally forgot to talk about it on the show.
Harvey Weinstein. I guess I want to say we all know him, but from people that comment, basically he was like a Hollywood executive, you can say. Was charged with various sexual assault crimes, but he was basically sentenced to 23 years for, 18 years and then 5 years for another crime that he would serve consecutively. So, and that's just his New York case. He still has a case in LA, or a trial in LA that he has to go through as well. And of course, he was like I guess you can say the scapegoat maybe for why other men shouldn't be charged for sexual assault crimes. So yeah.
Yeah. And listen, girl, when that sentence came through, timeline was quiet. Woo, the timeline was quiet. I mean, I was just like, all these folks who was like, what about Harvey Weinstein? What about Harvey? Quiet.
Listen,
Like, no
not a
pips at
word.
all.
I'm like, why y'all ain't saying nothing today? Because y'all was so concerned about, well, Bill Cosby went to jail and why he not going to jail. He going. And I'm like, 23 years with his age, he not gonna make it out. And he not even done.
Exactly. Got a whole nother trial.
Right. So, and I had like one Facebook friend, he was like, so is this post meant for black people? I'm like, no, this post is meant for rape apologists.
Factuals. Because there's a lot of y'all out there.
I was like that every time some came up with some, I guess you can say, I'm just gonna be out there. When some came up with Bill Cosby or R. Kelly, it was, well, what about Harvey Weinstein? So what about him now?
Girl, listen, I'm telling, they silent. They don't have nothing to say. They silent out here in these streets.
And then I seen
all the TIs and the and the DL Hugleys was silent, baby. I didn't see none of the little articles. What was all the posts at? Y'all was the main ones. What the post at?
and Tariq Nasheed, I hope I'm saying his name right. He is the guy that, like, basically, I guess you can say, created Hidden Colors. Was like, this is just Hollywood scapegoat and blah. Sir, you doing all of this mental reach to real life do this right now? I'm like, if no one else had more influence and money than him, it was him. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I like, instead of just saying R. Kelly deserved jail time for being a rapist and a pedophile, Bill Cosby deserved jail time for being a rapist. Y'all choose some weird hills to die on.
Facts. Girl, and they really willing to die on them hills, honey. I don't understand why. It boggles my fucking mind. I mean, yes, A Different World was a bomb ass show. It was a good show. I still love A Different World. But that don't mean that I'ma apologize and say that Bill Cosby didn't deserve jail time. The fuck? Like I don't
Right?
understand.
If that was your, and it shouldn't take that for you to get it, but it's like, if that was your mama, your daughter, something like that, y'all be up in arms. And I'm like, we know T.I. would be, because you still clocking your daughter virginity.
Ooh, child. Mm.
So I'm like, no.
I just wanted to know why the timeline was so silent. That's all. I just
They couldn't say, because they would be like, oh, he had jail time. And then of course you had some people who's like, well, that's the one time. One time for what, sir? One time for what? I'm like, yeah, I realize you want people to not go to jail for rape
It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind.
because a white man got off for it. So you don't want nobody else to serve justice, or no other victims to have justice because of a white dude. And I'm like, one Facebook friend really just put it in perspective for me even before that, but it like really drove it home for me. Those white men getting off, or any other men getting off for rape or sexual assault, that's not a slap in our face as black people. That's a slap in their victim's face.
Facts.
Because those are the people that's not receiving justice. It's not an injustice to us. So I was like, Lord, okay.
Yeah. Moving on from that, just to kind of throw out there, I saw that Jay Electronica, he's a rapper for those of y'all who don't know, because I know that he he came out like a gajillion years ago and said he was going to do an album, and like literally 20,000 gajillion years later he has finally released that album. So he released his album this week. It's very Jay-Z centric, Jay-Z heavy, I would say. But I mean, nonetheless, it's a good album. If you like lyrics, if you enjoy rap music, then you'll probably enjoy it. But yeah, the one, like I said, the one criticism that I've heard from people as far as who've reviewed it, they've said that it's very, for it to be a Jay Electronica album, it's very Jay-Z heavy. So take that for whatever you will. But yeah, nonetheless, he dropped the album. So if you were waiting on it, it's out there. Go check it out. If not, whatever. And did you also want to talk about the Jordan Woods situation?
I do. So this past week, she was, I guess, basically criticized on her Instagram. You could tell she's in the
Dubai.
It's actually it's Abu Dhabi, but I can't think of the name of the mosque now. But the biggest mosque in Abu Dhabi, it's I think it's like the Grand Sheikh or something like that. And her hair was exposed in the hijab. Sorry. And people were like, well, you're appropriating our culture and all this. And I'm like, I was kind of thrown off, because I'm like, is it how? I'm like, it's her hair that's showing in the front. And I've actually been there before, and I look back at my pictures and my hair actually is showing in the front. But I wasn't, no one stopped you for that. Like, you have to be fully covered, but no one stopped you for your hair showing in front. Now they did stop me because my skirt rose like 1 centimeter where you can see the bottom of my ankle. So they stopped and was like, either she got to put some socks on, which that one happened in 100 some degree weather, or I needed to pull. And the tour guide was like, just see, can you pull your skirt down just a little bit more? So I was able to just pull my skirt down a little bit more to cover, all the way down to my like your fucking foot. But I'm like, I guess for me, I'm like, there was a security issue more than a her issue because I mean,
Yeah. I
I
don't
don't
know. I didn't get it. I'm with you. Like I saw the post and to me it just seemed like she went to the mosque and she had to be fully covered. She was fully covered. And she posted the picture from just like anybody else who goes to it. And I just feel like people were just trying to find a way to like to call her appropriating the culture. I'm like, the fuck? No, she literally in order to enter the place she had to be covered. So yeah, she put on her. So I don't yeah. I was
and
confused with it.
it's very strict. You don't go through like one security checkpoint. You go through two. So
Yeah.
I'm like, being there, they check you when you get off of whatever transportation. Like when you pull up, there's security already out there because this lady tried to get off the bus with a tank top and shorts on, and they was like, no. And then they check you again before you actually get ready to enter. So I'm like, you're looking, and I'm like, just looking back at my pictures, I'm like, it was a few women where you could still see their hair. So I'm like, I don't know if they just don't make it a big deal when you go in. I'm like, I definitely want like, oh, let me appropriate. And I'm like, of course you take pictures because that's a big moment. You're in a beautiful place. It's somewhere different. You may not really ever see that, again, unless you go, but more than likely that's not a thing that you go and visit. Y'all tried it, but
Yeah.
okay.
Absolutely. They absolutely tried it. I think they just wanted to you know, be stank about it.
I was like, I done seen a couple other celebrities that went there, and y'all ain't got them this much flack about
What they
being
had on.
right.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Anything else that we have? I think we covered pretty much. I mean, that's everything I had on the list. You have anything else?
No, nothing else for me.
Yeah. So, as you guys can see, hot topics were pretty light, but now we are going to move into the relationship portion of the show. So, go ahead and shoot with our relationship questions, Falan DeAnn.
So I would say my first, well, for you, or in your opinion, which is worse, ending a friendship or relationship?
Ooh, I would say probably ending a friendship. And the reason I say that is because the majority of the time, friendships are like long lasting, like super deep, like you've known each other for years upon years type things. It's very rare that, like, when you consider friendships, they're, under a certain amount of time. Like most of the people who I consider like friends, I've known for multiple years as opposed to just now recently or whatever like that. Like the people that I meet have met recently, we may be cool or whatever, we acquaintances, but they're not like friends. Like they're not people I would depend on or call on a consistent basis. So I would say that probably more difficult would be a friendship just because of the amount of history and just kind of things that are wrapped up in that friendship as opposed to a relationship. What about yourself?
I agree. um, and the reason I say that is because, like, just even like my personal life, thinking about friendships that have failed and relationships that have failed. Some friendships feel like that little like twinge of like pain or hurt Whereas with a relationship, not saying that you don't like think back and be like, damn, that was messed up, or maybe things could have ended different, but it's just like I'm kind of over it. Whereas with some friendships, it's like, man, I really do miss that person. I miss the times that we had, or something like that. And like you said, it's just like it's more time, and I think you kind of maybe give more with friendships, because it's like, okay, this is my friend, and I kind of tell them more. Whereas sometimes in relationships or you're dating, it's just like, I'll tell you what you need to know when I feel you need to know it, type deal.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess with my friends, even it's like I share more intimate, or have shared more intimate moments with them. They've seen me at some of my worst phases in life. So,
Yeah. Agreed. 100%.
that was that. And I think my last question, it's not so much as a relationship question, it's more, I guess you could say, life. Um, but if someone gave you a box that contained everything that you have lost in your life, what is the first thing that you would search for?
So now, lost, is it just like objects or people? Could you include people in that or just objects?
If you want to include people, I'm open to that.
Because I mean, if we're including people, then I would go with my grandma. Um, like if I could bring her out of a box and like bring her back, I would totally do it. Because we were like kindred spirits. So yeah, that would be my answer. If we're including people, and if somebody gave me a box, I can bring back anything I lost. I'd bring back my grandma, Cassie Marie. But what about you?
I don't know how to put this. I would say calmness, maybe like a time where I didn't have anxiety. I don't know if it's calmness. I guess that would be a way to put it. Um, but yeah, like that time where I didn't have anxiety, wasn't going through like panic, like that time. Like that's what I would search for. Is like, you know, that calmness.
Man, that's a good one. I should have used that. I should have used that. I should have said, damn, if I could bring back the time when I wasn't depressed. Yes. Before that depression hit. But then again, it's like when you think about it, when you start to think about like mental stuff like depression and anxiety and things like that, you oftentimes, if you really sit and think about it, I think you'll find that while you've had like periods where those things haven't been so prevalent, that they've always kind of been there though.
Yeah. And I can say, like, I will say that it's true. And maybe it's because I was like younger, but I definitely can remember like being young and like very anxious.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's probably like when I get older and it turns into like full blown panic attacks where I'm like, I don't know what's happening. It feels like I'm having, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy though that I will say that I've been depressed. Depression is something that I've had struggled with for like years upon years upon years. Anxiety is just something that's been recent for me. I think it's happened with all of just kind of the fluctuations and the flux and changes that I've had over these last couple of years that have just happened so quickly that it's kind of ramped anxiety. I will say that being anxious is one of the worst feelings in the
Listen.
world. Oh, it is one of the worst types of things to go through. I'm lucky that I haven't got to the point where I've experienced panic attacks yet. I've tried to find ways to kind of calm myself when I'm feeling anxious, um but yeah, just the feeling in general is just one of the worst.
Listen, I am always anxious. And especially as much as I travel, I am so anxious traveling. Like I don't sleep. Especially like if I'm going, because I'm like, what if I missed the plane? And then what if this happened? And what if this happened? And I need to sit right here. Like the absolute worst.
Yeah.
And around children, my anxiety is very high because I'm like, what if something happens to them? But it's yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, in all honesty. Like it's one of the worst feelings to go through. But yeah, so we should definitely, I was thinking that we should definitely like have a show where we kind of dedicate it to like topics like anxiety, depression, like mental health type stuff. And I was really thinking about, because we did it like very early on in our show where we talked about love languages. I think we should bring that one back too, because I have come to notice, especially as as I get older, love language is something that people just really, 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 really don't seem to focus
Yeah.
on or get, you know what I mean? Or pay attention, or they don't see it as important. But I have literally seen so many relationships end just because people don't understand their love language or their partner's love language, in recognizing that they can and oftentimes are different. And if you don't, if you don't know the proper way to love somebody, as in you don't know how they want to be loved or how they accept love, um, then it's a recipe for fucking disaster, man.
It is. Definitely is. I'm so down for those. And I will say, just to touch on that, it's like your love language can, and more than likely as you grow older, it will change. Um, yeah, but a lot of people don't take it serious. It's like, and you actually give love, which some people don't get. You give love in your love language for what they've researched. So whatever your love language is how you give love. So you're thinking, oh, I'm doing all of this because this is what I'm giving you. But it's like that's really not what the other person needs. They're speaking to you in a different language. You're not listening because you're so tuned into, well, I'm giving you what, like what I would think would be enough, and it's not. So
Yep.
I'm definitely down for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We definitely got to revisit that one,
And they
because
also had, did you see the other one? They actually had like an argument or a forgiveness language or something like that. I can look it up and get the exact term, but it's like what people need to actually to forgive.
I have not seen that one, but I like it. I wanna. Listen. We definitely we gotta touch on that one. We gotta do some research, and we will definitely hit y'all with that, because I like that forgiveness language. I wonder what the hell my forgiveness language is. That's interesting. I'm intrigued now. I'm gonna research that and look it up now, because I'm intrigued.
And I'll get the exact. Yeah, it's um the 5 languages of apology. So it's
Ooh.
basically what people need from you when you give them an apology. And it kind of shows you like every apology is kind of not the same, and people need different things other than you verbally saying, "Hey, I
Yeah.
apologize," or "I shouldn't have did this." So yeah,
Oh, okay. That's cool.
yeah.
I'm into that. I wonder what my language of forgiveness is. Oh, or my language of apology. I'm here for it. So that is it. Do we have anything else for relationships?
Nothing else for
Okay. So
me.
that is it for our relationship segment. Any new music, TV, books, anything like that? Anything you want to talk about?
Nothing far as music. Um, That's a guilty confession. Um, I haven't really read, like, I guess you can say, adult books. I did buy Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters. It was like one of my favorite books growing up. It's still one of my favorite books. So I did read that, which is a children's book, but I love that book. And for TV, I'm addicted to crime series. And it's just basically like detectives talking about cases that um, as they've been detectives for years, they just never forget. So, yeah, but other than that, that's it for me.
Okay. So for me, no new books, no new TV or music. So I'm gonna go right fairly quickly into my nerd moment of the week. And my nerd moment of the week is just simply just some recommendations for folks. Because I know that we are in the midst of this whole social distancing, self quarantines, whatever you want to call it. So a lot of us are going to be stuck in the house and have to be around our families or whatnot. We might want to watch some TV. So just some television shows or things that I've been checking out or I would recommend watching. So for me, I've been rewatching the earlier seasons of The Flash. I've been also checking out Killjoys on the Sci-Fi Channel. Love that show. Such a good show. I've been checking out on Netflix. They just outed. Listen, and I know this is gonna be like really weird, but I don't know why I enjoyed this. But I've liked this movie since it came out back in the day. But they just added on their Outbreak. You remember that movie from the '90s, Outbreak?
I did. I started watching it. I didn't get through with it. But, yeah.
I listen. I know that this is probably not the most appropriate movie right now. But damn it, if y'all have seen Outbreak, y'all know that was a good ass fucking movie, okay? Um I also have checked out the second season of Titans from it's on the DC streaming channel. So just any, y'all guys know I'm a huge like sci-fi fantasy nut. Um the USA channel is currently running the full Harry Potter series movies again. So I will be Harry Potter heaven basically once again. Like I literally probably watch Harry Potter. It's sad and pathetic, but I literally probably watch Harry Potter once a month. Oh, I'm such a nerd and so sad and pathetic, but it's all good in the hood. Because I just love me some Harry Potter. But so yeah, I mean, again, that is my nerd moment of the week. Just some recommendations, some things for you guys to check out. And let's go ahead and I guess wrap up the show because I have nothing else left. What about you, Falan DeAnn?
Nothing for me.
So per usual, we want to thank you guys for listening. Continue to listen, support the show. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go visit our YouTube channel. It's just Pretty Nerdz Podcast. Subscribe. We got a lot of good content coming for you guys. Make sure you visit the website www.prettynerdspodcast, and that's nerds with a Z.com. Again, we just recently added a blog to there, so it'll have some content up there, some blog pieces for you guys. We also will be having merch coming eventually. We're still working on it. We want to get some good things for you guys, so that'll be coming in the near future as well. Again, thank you guys so much for listening and have a wonderful night and stay safe, please, and healthy.
Your hands.
Bye, guys.